If you are a heavy PPT user who tend to send your presentations to your stakeholders on a regular basis, maybe weekly, monthly, or on a quarterly cadence, where there isn't much necessity to change the KPIs, but just to update the data points with some latest comments. And if you're looking for a way to automate this process with a single click of a button, then you're at the right place. Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Rishikesh Bhaya, and in this video, I'm going to teach you a technique where we can make use of an external add-in to achieve our requirement. Just a footnote here before we begin. Thinkcell is the software that we are going to use here, and along with the PPT and Excel. And I don't think it's a free software, but we're going to witness what it can do in this video, and we'll also discuss the pros and cons of it. Then maybe you can decide if you want to go for it or not. Yeah. Let's jump into the presentation quickly. I've just made a one slider where I've added in some imaginary numbers. Everything that you see in this slide is imaginary, and if it happens to be a real company as such, it is pure coincidence. I'm sorry for that, right? So let's say there is a company called as Indian Constructions. This is a construction company, and we are trying to look at the performance results of the first quarter of this company. Yeah, right. Uh, so this is a geography level summary of the Indian constructions, where there are 4 geographies here. Each geography is assigned with 2 managers, and these managers are given a quarterly target. They need to sell these many units of flats or apartments, whatever. And then we have the actuals, how many units have they sold, and then we have some of the KPIs where we can assess the performance of these managers. First one is the attainment, which is like the sales versus target. This is nothing but the number of units sold by the target, right? And then we have the quarterly growth, how much have they grown or declined compared to the previous quarter, and similarly we have the yearly growth, like how much they have grown or declined compared to the previous year. In the top, we have a pictorial representation of the manager's performance in terms of their attainment, where the blue bar is the sales and yellow one is the targets. And then we have some key comments highlighting the key takeaways from this slide. Right? I'm sure this is a simple slide where every one of us have used this kind of slides to address our stakeholders, right? So now, if you have to refresh this on a regular basis, let's say this slide is sent to a stakeholder on a quarterly basis, right? In the next quarter, what I'm going to do is instead of quarter 1, in the title, I'm going to change this quarter 1 to quarter 2. So that would be the first change that I would do, correct? And let's address the changes first. So this would be the first change I would do, 1. And I will have to refresh this chart also, right? So which can be done using Excel also, but let's see why we're using Thinkcell here. This is the second change. This is 2. And I will have to update this table also, right? This will be 3. And I'll also have to update the comments here individually, maybe 4, and this will be 5. So the single slide will have 5 changes. Some of them can be addressed using Excel, and some of them will have to do it manually. I'm not sure if there is a way that we can do all of this using Excel. I'm not considering VBA here because not everyone would be comfortable using VBA, right? So just using a simple Excel sheet, I'm saying. If there is a way, please mention in the comment section. We can revisit those things. Yeah. But installing a Thinkcell add-in can easily help us automate all these things by just a single click, right? But we might have to do some preparation of the backend for this. So let's see what that is. Okay, let me get out of this. This will come to want to keep no discard. Okay, so let me zoom this a little. So here I've just made some backend data. I'm sure this is not a big deal. Most of us can do this thing. right? So it's a simple table where we have this data here, and we have certain labels here. The first one is the geography insights of quarter one. So this, if you remember, this is the title that we used in the slide, and this is the comment section that we used, and this is the backend data for the graph that we used in the slide, right? So this is how I prepare the data, and let me show you how we can actually make this individual charts once, right? I'm just trying to help you understand how we can make these charts individually. Right now it's already prepared, so let me add a new slide. Okay, so just for the sake of simplicity, I'm trying to build that chart again. So if you if you already installed the ThinkCell add-in, you can go to the insert button here, and you can see this section, ThinkCell section, where you have different things here. So go to the elements, and here you can choose which type of chart you want to, right? There's text box, there is some shapes here, and there are some note points and everything here, right? So for now, I have used this cluster chart, right? So I'm just taking this again. Okay, I just clicked it here. So this then pops up the backend structure of the table. Yeah. So now I already have this structure prepared here. You can see this. So I'm just going to copy paste this data for once, just to make sure the format is correct. I'm closing this. Yeah. Okay. So we have our chart ready. So now that we have built the chart, it's also important for us to link this chart to the Excel, right? So what I'm trying to do here is in the Excel, so I go to the insert thing here again. I go to elements. I click on this option called as link this data to the existing chart. So if I click on this, it will automatically show me a cursor where it has a cursor option underneath. I mean, it has an icon kind of Excel X thing here. See, right? So if you hover on this chart, it will highlight the sheet in green color. So I can just click on this. So now it will take little time. Okay. Okay. Actually, what happened is, okay, this refer to a different cell. Okay, let me do it again. Okay, for some reason the reference has gone up there. So let's do it again. I might have clicked on a, okay, link to an existing chart. I click on this. There you go. Now this is linked to the Excel in the backend. How you know is you can see earlier it was in green. The highlighting box was in green color. Now it is red, orange color, right? So that itself indicates that it is linked. Or otherwise, you can also go to the data link section here, and you can see what all links we have. So this is slide number 3, right? So slide number 3 just tells us there is an object here which is linked to this particular location of the Excel, right? So this is how you prepare your chart and you try to link it to the backend data. So right now I'm deleting this. So similarly, I prepare these all of these objects and all. So this table also you can make it in the similar format, and same as the comments, right? So in Excel, one possibility, this is a definitely a possibility. You can prepare a sheet and you can also chart like this, and you can link the data in the backend. That is available. But I don't think the automation of a table population and also automation of the comments population is not available here, right? So here, the title, the comments, and the table here, all these three are linked to the Excel in the backend here. So if you can see, So once you link a particular field, right? So that particular cell is highlighted in green, which indicates that there is a dependent object on this particular cell somewhere. Yeah. So that is the message that we're getting from here. Now, so the method is same. So if it is a table or whatever, if it's something is a text, right? So the way to link is same. So let's try to see how we can link it actually. Either you can use an existing comment to replicate the process, or you can start something from the scratch, right? Let's try to do something from the scratch actually. So now that we have two comments already there in the slide, let's try to see how we can automate the third comment to be populated there. So I'm going to insert here. There is elements here, and either you can do a table, right? You can do a table and put it here, right? So this is one way of doing it, and then you can select this, and you can also format as per your requirement, right? So accent is the background of it. Let's put 3, and you can also use text everything here, right? So you can start something from the scratch. You can customize the way that you want to, or maybe you also use these things. The options available in the home section also. This is one way of doing it. The easier way to do it is because you don't want to deal with the formatting again. So I'll just select the existing comment and I copy paste it, right? Now this is, did it happen? No, it didn't. Wait a second. Control C, Control V. Yeah. So it's asking me where to paste it. I just click here. This might take a little time. Okay. Now, now that we have copied the object, I'm deleting this for now. So we have to link that new comment object to the reference. So going to insert an existing chart. So I've selected this cell. So I want to refer this cell to an existing chart. So I'm just clicking on this. This should update. Didn't happen. Yeah, updated. So then the comment is updated, right? This way you don't have to redo the formatting all the time, right? So this could be a easier way to do it, and it is really helpful when you're trying to do the table actually, when you're trying to redo the table, right? So yeah, so now that we have uh, linked all the objects, so let's say this we are doing for the next month, right? Let's say quarter 1 is done and you're trying to update the data for quarter 2. So we can automate our Excel in the backend. So try to, let's say our Excel is updated for quarter 2. Let's say these numbers are all changing, right? Let's say this target number is also changed. Let's say this 195 something. Let's put this as 180. Okay. All of this will change ultimately, right? Whenever you do the same step for the next time. So then what all that you need to do is go to the insert section and go to elements. Sorry, go to this three things here. Go to data links, and here you choose to refresh individually any of the object, or you can select everything and then you can click on update, right? So that is done. So all of these objects are now refreshed as per their references. So as simple as that, right? So this is a way that you can update each and every object, be it a chart, be it a text field, be it a table, be it a comment, anything that you can update using the things that added, right? And if I go to presentation mode, this is how it looks like. Now, for some of you who might have had a good flavor of customizing or formatting your slides, so you might feel some kind of deficit here, right? For example, if I look to the comments, right, so what is my comment saying? So manager 2, this guy, manager 2, let's highlight here. So manager 2 has shown significant growth in sales compared to previous quarter and also compared to previous year, even though he did not meet his target, right? So he's saying that his sales are less than targets, right? That is why his attainment is less than 100%. But we are saying that his growth compared to previous year, previous quarter, and also previous year has grown, right? So this is the first comment. And the second comment says that managers 5 and 7. So managers 5 and also 7. So 7 have showed, okay, forget the spelling here, good attainment and also the growth results. So this basically is saying that all the three KPIs are positive. All of them are positive. So these are good guys, basically. And manager 6 had neither growth nor attainment, and his portfolio needs attention. Okay, so manager 6, this person basically had performed below his set targets, and his growth is also negative if I see this, right? So this person, I mean, this his portfolio needs certain attention, right? So this is what comments are saying. But having said that, if we could provide some kind of conditional formatting here, where a user or a reader can automatically make out these comments by his own, right? So that could be a great idea, right? So that is what is lacking in the things. So that is where we come out to the pros and cons of it. So where is this particular method useful, right? Like I mentioned in the video before, so where your slide or your presentation is almost stabilized, you don't expect any heavy changes in the future, and you tend to continue with the same KPIs going forward, and you have a periodic refresh of your deck, right? So that is when you can use this add-in. So it's a one-time setup. I understand the setup takes time, but once it is set up, it saves a lot of your time. You just have to prepare your backend, which you can automate using either SQL or Python, anything that you are comfortable with, and then just click a refresh button. Your presentation will be ready. Easy to refresh, it saves your time, and this is also scalable. It just doesn't work with one or two. If even there is some 100 slides in your PPT, it will refresh, it won't get stuck, your PPT say won't get I mean closed automatically or something like that. Sometimes it happens in Excel, like whenever you're dealing with heavy Excels, and if your calculation is not automatic, they tend to crash. So I didn't experience any such crashes. I was using close to 70 slides, which works smoothly. And one good feature is that automation of text and comments is possible here, which is not possible with Excel integration. I have explored it and I couldn't achieve it. If there is a way that you could know without using VBA, let me know. Right? Coming to the cons, we will have to compromise on formatting for sure. So if you look at Excel, right, let me show Excel here once again. So this is my Excel where I can highlight the reds. I mean the pressing issues in red here. I mean we can do much more than this using condition formatting and all. I can go to this, I can apply a rule and all, I can make this look more majestic. But here we'll have to compromise on conditional formatting. I don't think we can apply borders to tables. That is again something we have to compromise on. Again, row banding. So if right now this table has just 8 rows, right? If there is more rows, there is again difficult. It will be little difficult to read because you definitely need some demarcation between the consecutive rows, which is not available here, right? The second thing is second con of this is realignment of tables. So this, what do I mean by this is, let's say the manager name is too big, or if there is no data for the manager, right? Let's say this is, he has a big name, or sometimes the data is missing. So if the data is missing, this will show a blank cell, which will be kind of a cell with white color. Let's see if we can do this actually. Let me delete it. And Let me discard this and let me try to refresh this. So there, what I did was, okay, the way to refresh is I'll select everything here and just refresh this. Okay, right now it's fine. So it goes, sometimes it doesn't show this color also. That's an issue that I have seen. But right now it is fine. But if the name is too big, right, what happens is uh, the width of this column or maybe the height of the table that gets misaligned. You might have to select everything again and realign the shape. And things like that you might have to do manually for a couple of slides. That is one of the issues. And the other thing is it's not easy to adopt for somebody. For example, so if you click on this, there's a lot of options here, and let's say somebody wants to add a grid line here or something, right? So it's not that intuitive as we feel with Excel. It's possible. I don't say it's very complex thing, but if you are coming from Excel to here, so you won't find this as a very friendly platform. And the last con that I think is it's not a free software, right? So there is a free version available. You might have to put in your work ID. Uh, you might get some demo for the week or so, but again, I don't think it's a free software. So that's a con. So with this, I conclude this video. But if you feel there is anything that could be improved in using the ThinkCell, or if you think there is an alternative that can do better than this, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching it till here. Thank you.